Today we're starting on Cimarron Ranch, Tract 57. It's 35 acres. It has a road to a build site and power up to the build site as well, or a camp spot. It comes down to this road in this valley down here. It's called Hanks Canyon. You have good water in this canyon with good water wells. And the property goes up this hill and back all the way up to a top mesa up above, which borders a large 20,000 acre ranch on the back side. You got a lot of deer and elk and wildlife and bear in this area. We're going to drive up to the build site of the campsite. Then walk through the land a little bit. It has a good mix of ponderosa pines and firs on the northern slopes. Lots of different valleys and variations in the terrain as well. It goes all the way up to the very top mesa up there and further up above. And you have a nice building area down here with some level ground and usable area down in here too. Goes up above on those treetops, up to those treetops up above on that side. That'd be the eastern side, so it runs all the way to the back part of the property up on top of the high mesa. So this is where the power was pulled to, and it's set up for a camper or a campsite or even your house if you're ready to start building. You have views of the mountain range from here as well. From this build site you get views of the Sangre de Cristo range to the west. And you can see up and down the canyons to the east and to, no, actually to the north and to the south, all the way back to Trinidad, Colorado. I'll just turn around and show you the campsite here. The trees you can see at the very top up there is the very top of the property, and there's an old Jeep trail that goes up to the top of that as well. There's about 5 to 7 acres of good flat ground up on top of the mesa up there. We just come away from the campsite and we're walking in the valley behind. You have some really neat sandstone formations that are sticking out on that side of the property, jutting out of the hill. This is a great south-facing property, so the snow melts fast on it. Today's April 17th, 2009, and it's 72 degrees at, we're about 8,000 foot in elevation. The build site area is right down there in the valley below. As we go up here, I'm seeing some massive elk track. How big that is. It's a Leatherman. I thought they were horse for a little while. We just had some moisture in the past few days, and so he was squishing through here during that time period. We're almost to the top. I wanted to point out that just as we got to the top of the trail, there's aspens there. If you'll notice, all the oak brush is mowed down short right from coming up from that valley, where the elk and deer come up through there and chomp it down as they're going over into the large ranch, which borders behind the trees all the way up the top there. They hunt out every year, so they end up pushing all the animals onto these other valleys that border. There's not a lot of public land around. There's about 500,000 acres of national forest and wilderness area. And about 35,000 acres of wildlife area. And I keep seeing these tracks. More elk. It's got a nice flat top up here. It's about 5 to 7 acres worth up here on the top. Great area to put a little stand in up here and wait for them to come over the ridge or up from the valley floor. We're going to come out here and get the views. It's a little difficult to get all these views in one shot. This is back east towards Fisher's Peak, so then we're going to be panning through the south here. This grass valley down below is Hanks Canyon, what we drove up in. Ranchers around here for years have run their cattle up in this canyon, wet canyon, one over here during droughts. Get great water wells. The build site's right down there, a little flat area right down there. So you can see there's about 5 acres down there that's good and usable, and then it comes up this valley all the way up the top. We just came right around to from the Jeep trail, which runs, you can kind of see the road right there. Now we're going to swing around to get the Sangre views to the west. Gonna have to walk around the edge here to get the rest of them. And it really starts to open up right here. Yeah, this is nice. Okay, that's the Sangre de Cristo mountain range looking to the west. Actually, west is about right here. Beautiful lot, really private, good hunting. All this land up here is crisscrossed with trails. You see all this oak brush is cut down. Taller stuff here with its full tops, and you compare it to this other. That's to the west, the Sangres again, and again the build site's right down there. We're going to head on right down through the oak brush here and back to the build site and take off from this lot. This is the Cimarron Ranch lot 57. It's about 40 minutes to Trinidad, Colorado. Has power and good cell phone signal. There's a few houses around up here too. There's one right across the canyon over there. Some firs on this land too. Dam that up down there and put some bentonite or a plastic liner in the bottom, and you have a nice catch pond. Use the overflow from your well to top it off. Put your cistern above your house so you have gravity feed. Most of the snows in southern Colorado, the heaviest snows, come in the springtime. So you get 2 to 4 feet, maybe once or 2 footers, about half a dozen. They melt in 2 to 3 days. It'll be 60, 70, 60, 65 degrees the next day, or after the storm passes. They break down power lines, and the most we've ever been out with power up here in this area is about 4 days. On average, it's a matter of hours, 8 to 10 hours. It's nice to have your cistern up above your house and then pipe down to it. So then you have some gravity feed water when the power goes out. Generators work too, but you gotta have gasoline for them all the time. This is the drive coming up off the canyon floor, and we're back to the build site, campsite / RV site. Okay, we made it back down to the main county road called Wet Canyon Road. So good valleys in here too for wildlife. Every evening you'll see elk and deer in these valleys. It's approximately 12 miles down to Highway 12 from here, about 8 miles down to pavement. And then from western Colorado back east to Trinidad is about 17 miles. We're going to go up canyon here a little bit. If you go up this way, you get the National Forest and Wildlife area about 5 miles up here, right at the base of the Spanish Peaks.